Hi, Sai Padla. Could you please open the PPT with the list of questions on user variable chat and walk me through the question by question?
Hi Divya, good morning. Can I share my screen?
Sure.
Okay. This is my PPT. My topic is user variable. User variable user can select from select this home members. Each user select from the available list of members on the user variable. Coming to the open the next slide. In this topic, we will be able to the show as the use of user variable in the following artifacts: data forms and runtime form, business rules, smart. These all are artifacts in the application. Coming to the open the next slide. The creation of user variables. What is the use of user variable? The user variable act as a filter in the forms, enabling the users to focus only on the certain members by the user variable are created by administrator only. By use user variable, you can select for user variable to the list of number of members to display on the form, helping users focus on certain members. Uh, what is the difference between the user variable and substitution variable? User variable and substitution variable are created by administrator only. Substitution variables are global placeholder for regularly change the information. Change it will infect all the users in the accessing application. The user variable just like a substitution variable. They are used in the forms. It will you will access the form. Users to select the form. He wants to drive the form. Change will infect only the user. Which is case do you use user variable over the substitution variable? User cannot have access. User cannot have changes the user variable. Use substitution variables. So user cannot use the substitution variables. So that's why use the user variable over the substitution variables. Can you show me how to use a creation of user variable from the following use cases? Since you don't have list of users in the application, try to explain how user variable behave by using the administrator user only, by using the use case assumption below. Use case one. Assume the user one is the one out of the two entities. Assign those two entities value of the two entity dimensions. Let's turn on to the application. Click on tool cluster under the variable card here. Click on variable card. You can see user variable option here. Click on user variable option. Click on plus symbol. Add the uh, user variable member. Click on plus symbol. One second. Click on tool cluster. Click on variable card. Here, click on user variable. Click on plus symbol. Click on plus symbol. Now I'm selecting the entity dimension here. Click on entity. Give the name. User variable name is the entity. I'm giving the user entity. User entity. User entity. Member is I'm selecting the member. Any two members in the entity in the parent. I'm selecting the EN01 under the EN01 plants and UK. Click on OK. After we move on to the click and save. Record as with saved successfully. Click on OK. After we move on to the user preference, click on user preference. select the user which you want the user member. Click on user variable in here. I'm previously created a user entity user entity name. Select the member here. Click on expand the segment. Click on M01. Any one of the member you can select here. I'm selecting a branch. Click on OK. Click on save. The user preference has been saved. Click on OK. Let's turn on to the PPT. Open the next slide. Use of user variable in the data form. Can you reuse any of the data form and show me how to use the user variable as for use case 1 from the slide 3. Let's turn on to the application. Click on navigator. Select the forms under the create and manage. I'm executing form. Select the executing form. User variable form. Click on edit. Click on layout. User variable, take the here. Click on edit. Click on edit. Click on user variable. Previously created user entity. Click on user entity. Move on to the right side. Remove this hardcore number. Click on OK. This is the user variable here. Click on save. Let's turn on to the PPT. Can you explain how user one can access the data form? Which is the created by which is created by based on the above question. Let's turn on to the application. Click and save. Save the form. Click on preview. User can access like what you get into the form. User entity 1 France here. Let's turn on to the PPT. In the detail of how the entities are restricted to two entities of the ownership. Let's turn on to the application. First, you have to close this form. Click on user preference. You have to here also select the one member. I'm previously selected France. Now I'm change the member. Click on it. I'm taking UK here. Click and save. Click and save. Click and save. Let's go to the forms. Let's go to the form. Click on form. Select the previous selecting form. Click on edit. Click on layout. Click on layout. Click on save. Click on preview the form. You can change the entity name. Previous I'm selecting the France. Now we selecting the UK. Okay, let's turn on the PPT. Should user one supposed to access any of the entities other than the two entities? He owns the data form. No, he cannot access any of the two entities of the entities other than the two entities. User one access to the only particular entities only. User cannot access another entities. Next user requirements. Can you show me how to enable a dynamic user variable? Let's turn on to the application. First you have to close this. First you have to select the form. So click on other options here. You can see here. You enable the dynamic user variable. Click on enable. Previously created a user entity. You can move on to the right side. Click on move. Click on save. Click on the form is saved. Click on preview. Here you can see user entity is the dynamic user variable. Click on user variable. Here can this is the entity en01 is the entity parent number under the child members. Let's turn under the PPT. Take any parent entity as an example. So how only the children of the parent entities are the filtered into the data form. Let's turn on to the application. First, we need to close this form. Click on user variable here. Create new user variable. Take entity user entity. Name is the user entity. User entity 3. Name is the user entity. Now I'm selecting the members. Click on total geography. Click on segments. If you have take the EN01, click on zero level. Take the zero level members. Click on OK. Click on save. The record has saved successfully. After move on to the user preference, we are the we select the user preference here. It will reflect the user preference there. And previously created user entity 3. Select the members here. Any click on expand this total segments. Expect this any one of the number you can here can select only. I'm selecting the Singapore one. Click on OK. Click and save. The user preference has been saved successfully. Click on OK. After go to the forms. Click on forms under the create and manage. Click and edit the form. First you go to the other option here. Click on other options. Click and move on to the entity 3. And click and save. Preview the form. Here can see entity user entity is dynamic user. Now click on edit. Total geography and segments and EN02 under the these all are France, UK, Singapore 1, Singapore 2. These all are children members under the EN02 parent member. Let's turn under the PPT. When the data form is saved, the business should run only in the context of entity selection made. Let's turn under the PPT. Let's turn under the application. First, need to close this form. Here can see the business tool option here. Click on business tool option. If you want to select any business tool on the right side, click on move on to the right side. Click on I'm selecting the translated business tool. Now here can see this business tool and properties. Under the business tool and properties, here can constellation business tool and translation business tool. Now I'm selecting user member on the form. Click and save. You can select the run after save. Once you enter the data in the form, enter in the data entered in the form. After business tool will be run the successfully. Click on save. Let's turn under the PPT. Open the next slide. Use of user variable in the RTP. Can he use user variable in the RTP? Yes, he can use user variable in the RTP. If yes, can you limit in the user variable in the entity in the RTP to be able to restrict user one from accessing the entities other than the he wants. Use this RTP in the business tool in the show me how it's work. Let's turn on to the application. First, you need to close this. Click on navigator. Click the rules under the create and manage. Click on this. The separate window will be open. Click on actions menu. Click on under the user variable designer. Variable designer here. Click on variable designer. Click on left. You can see this left hand panel. Expand this cloud. You can global or application level. Now I'm selecting the global level. Select the click on the actions menu under the new option here, click on new. I'm creating the new entity here, RTP. RTP entity. One type is the member. Type is the member. Dimension type is the entity. After after activate the RTP, the limit and the some more highlight the some more options, some more numbers here, limits and the default values and RTP text. Here can use the here can give the user variable value, and give the user variable value ampersand, give the ampersand user entity, user entity 3, user entity 3. Default value is the same, user entity. RTP text is please enter the entity. Click and save. Variable saved successfully. Click on OK. Let's turn on to the PPT. Open the next slide. Use of user variable in the business tool. Can you show me how to use the user variable in the business tool? Let's turn on to the application. Click on system view here. Select the expand this CPM cloud, expand this application, expand this console, expand this rules. Here can see FCS underscore 10 to FCS underscore 17. These all are predefined business rules when creating application. The custom rule 3 and custom rule previously created those custom rules. Now I'm creating the new custom rule, new custom rules. Click on actions, click on new objects. Application type is the cloud. Application name is the FCS underscore demo. Cube is the console. Object type is the rule. Give the custom rule name. Custom rule entity. Entity 1. Entity 1. Click and save. The custom entity 1 created and open the editing process. Click on OK. Click give the script here. Let's turn on to the PPT. Can you explain what advantage does not the use of user variable as over the substitution variable? User variable user cannot change the substitution variables. User can change the user variables. User variables are substitution variables are created by administrator only. User can choose the own decision. Substitution variable only administrator can the select the members. Can you explain which of the following approach in the recommended, not recommended for the using entities in the business tool? Please example why if you can. Hard coding entity and using user variable entity and substitution variable entity and RTP. Now I'm recommended for the RTP, and now I'm recommended RTP for the user selecting. Let's turn into the application. How to give the script prefix 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 process. Enter the hardcode entity en0 1 underscore 01. Enter npix. Enter fits process. Give the user variable name ampersand user entity 3, user entity 3, enter and fix enter enter and fix, give the RTP value here. Can he use the RTP here? Uh, process RTP underscore. Let's check the RTP name. RTP underscore N0 entity 1. Let's go to the give the entity 1. Enter and fix hard coded member and user variables, hide the custom roles, give the slash and the slash star. You can also view star, click and save. The custom entity is saved successfully. Click on OK. RTP underscore entity under the variables. I can save this. After validate the custom role, the validation validate the starting the validation. For the syntax errors, uh, the rule validated with the rule validated with no errors. Click on OK. After deploy the custom rule, click on deploy the rule. Starting the deploying the rule. The deployment into your application and the application. The deployment as successful. Click on OK. Let's go to check your business tools on that application. Click on home page. Let's go to check the click on rules card under the here. Press previously created custom rule entity 1. Now click on launch. The included RTP here, please under the entity user entity 3. Created RTP here. Click on cancel. Let's turn under the PPT. Open the next slide. Using user variable in the smart view. Can you explain how to insert user variable in the smart view? Use the case one. Use the case one from the slide 4. First you select the first you need to open the Excel sheet. You need to open the Excel sheet. Click on open the Excel sheet blank. Click on smart view. Under the panel option here, click on panel option. Right hand side, you can see the right hand side, shared connections and private connections under the smart view. Now I'm selecting the shared connections. Give the credentials here. Underscore default underscore cloud admin. Give the password. Enter. Click on select the EPM cloud. Expand this link. Expand this application. Expand this library. Here you can see the user variable form demo. Click on user variable demo. Click on ad hoc analysis. This is the ad hoc analysis form here. let's turn on the PPT. Can you explain how to insert user variable in the smart view? Let's turn into the Excel sheet. Here can either user variable value, give the ampersand, user entity, three. Click and refresh. You can see the user entity. You can insert the user variable value. Singapore one is the user variable value. Let's turn on to the PPT. In this topic, I have concluded show as the use of user variable in the following artifacts: data forms, runtime forms, and business rules smart view. Let's thank you. That's it, Divya. Hello.
Okay. Thank you so much, Sai.
Thank you, Divya.